All right, we are back. So in the last video, which I know was a little bit ago, I've had busy a little bit of time, but we're getting back into it. We have venues now, and we have the list view of them. We have a detail view of them, which does need a app bar in order to do things. Does it have an app bar? We're just going to take a quick look. It is the venue detail screen. Yeah, there's an app bar. I think it's because I'm not doing a push. That's something we need to figure out. We'll figure that out in shortly. Let's make sure this works. Okay, good. So we have our detail view. Everything's good there. I'm still signed in, which is nice. I mean, I think I'm still signed in. Actually, I don't actually know if I am. Let's just log out and log back in. It'll be easier to know if we're logged in when we actually have a profile screen, but we're not there yet. And then, yeah, we have this, we're pushing to success on login. That's something we'll fix at some point, because that doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so we have our detail view, and everything is good there. Now, what I want to do today is work on the actual ability to create a venue, at least in its most bare bones sense. With a form and all that sort of stuff, instead of what we did before, which was really just writing some hard-coded data and hitting our endpoint. So we already have the endpoint for it. We just need a way to actually use a form. However, I think before that, there's one model that's pretty important that we need. This app is going to have the idea of what I'm going to call a hub. Because it's like a location-based app, I don't want it to be something that necessarily like launches globally. The content will just be so spread out. So the intention is, we're going to launch it in one geographical area, put all the focus there on getting users and getting it being used, so it actually has value. And then, it can expand into other ones. So we are going to create a model called a hub where venues will essentially be linked to, so that when we're logging in and stuff, we're only seeing stuff in the hub that we want. So for that, we're going to make a new model called hub.spy, or hub, but the file will be hub.spy.yaml. And just to have something for reference, this is actually not a good reference because we want one that has a database. So let's just use the venue, for instance. So we'll do class, and we'll call this hub. Table, again, will be hub. And for fields, we don't need an owner. These are only going to be created by an admin. Users aren't going to be able to create this. So this is actually pretty easy for us to work with. We'll need a list endpoint, and we will need some kind of way to create it, although for now we'll probably just do it right in the database level. But yeah, we really just need, I think, a name to start with. So let's give that a string. We'll have, similar to this, we'll have kind of like a center, latitude and longitude, so that we can kind of automatically connect someone to one based on the closest hub to them. And I'm sure there'll be more things at some point, but this is really enough for us to get the data model figured out. So now we will run Serverpod generate just to generate some code for us. And then we're going to do Serverpod create migration, because we want to create a migration for this new guy here. And there it is there. And this one should be pretty simple. If we look at the migration.json, we're creating a table called hub. And it's going to have an ID and a name and a latitude and a longitude and all that good stuff. Okay, cool. So now that we have that, we actually have to run the migration. So to do that, we just need to run our Dart bin main.dart, but put apply migrations, and this will start it up with the migration running. All right, now for our venue, we want the venue to be attached to this. So I'm going to stop my server again, and we're going to put this right here. We're just going to call it hub, and we do have to make it null. That's just something with relations, and actually that's good for us because then we don't have to worry about the database having a problem when we generate this. So I'm just creating that. So we'll run through that same process again. Let's do Serverpod generate. We will create the migration. So, here we go. One of our columns added table venue, which cannot be added in a table migration. Complete table deleted and restarted. That's fine. So this is going to actually delete our data. I wonder, there's probably a good way around this. One of our columns are added to the table venue, which cannot be added in a table migration. Interesting. So we'll do this with the force. The complete table will be deleted and recreated. That's fine. We're going to lose some data, but we can get that back. They're just temporary anyways. And now we actually want to apply the migration. So hopefully that works. I'm also just going to take a quick peek at the new one that we made. I'm curious what actually the SQL is. So we create the table. Oh, that's definition, migration. So yeah, basically what that migration did, which sometimes I guess we'll see this. I guess it depends on the type of data. But it's actually dropping our venue table, then recreating it with the new stuff. So it looks like everything worked. Looks like we're fine. So let's just close a bunch of things. Now, if we do refresh our app, in theory now, we're not going to have any venues because it's going to be empty. So we might want to go, yeah, no items found. The current list is empty. So let's actually just like handle that right now because we could probably make that a bit better. So let's look at our venue list. Oops, that's not the right one. We have a venue list component. And remember, we made this infinite list component a couple videos back, perhaps in the last video. And what I want to do is something we can do with our page list view. I think inside the delegate is, maybe it's not in the delegate. Page list view, delegate, let's see. Yeah, oh, there it is, yeah. So no items found builder. Let's see what this looks like. Function with context. So here we can actually kind of return something differently. We can return just text that says, no, nothing found, right? And if we go back here again, we'll see nothing found. Now this is something we might want to, override on a case-by-case basis, depending on what gets pushed in. So I'm thinking just keep it simple for now. We can always adapt this. We can have a nullable string, which will basically be, we can call it no items found message. And then we'll just do this. We're not going to make it required because what we'll do is, I do want to wrap this maybe in like a center tag just to make it a little bit prettier. Nothing found. And let's use that message, whatever the message is, no items found message, but we'll fall back to something. I can just say like no results found. So now it should say no results found when we go back here. No results found, which is fine. However, when we actually call this in our venue list component, we can actually pass in no items found message, and we can put no venues found. And let's just see if that worked. Okay, cool. All right, so now we have our hub model, we have our venue model. Let's open up dbeaver, and let's just look at our data again. It looks like things are frozen here. Oh, exit? No, I don't want to exit. Reconnect to our database, and let's go take a look at everything in here. So we should have a hub model now. Yeah, we do. So let's actually just create a hub in here. I think we can leave the ID null and actually do some things in here. So let's go edit. Let's add a row. And for name, we're just going to do Toronto. Latitude. Let's find the latitude and longitude of Toronto again. So we'll have our latitude as this, and then our longitude, because it's west, we need to make it negative. And let's just see if we can actually put this up to submit this to the database. I'm clicking save button. It's not seeming to do anything. What does this even say? Apply cell change, auto apply value. I want to apply this whole row. I don't think, wait, save down here? There we go. That's probably the save we needed. All right, cool. Let's just make sure that worked by closing this and reopening hub. And it looks like it's in there. It has an ID of 1, so I think we're good. Okay, and then let's go to our, we think we had some temporary code somewhere in here to create venue root screen. Yeah, we do have some code in here that we could use just to temporarily get this data back in. So let's put this back. Good old fashioned uncomment. And we'll just save this. And yeah, we're missing hub ID, which is something we need. So this is going to require us, I think, to open something just to get the, there we go. Hub ID, we can use 1, that's just the one we had, and hub, we can just leave null, and it will do the relationship for us. Okay, let's see if we have any other problems. I'm just going to filter here by only errors, just we don't care about the warnings right now. Okay, let's just refresh, and let's just create a couple venues. Go back here to explore, create venue. Cool, and then let's just change it again. My other bar, and we'll just adjust this slightly. That's fine. Maybe we'll put exclamation marks there. We'll go back to explore, create venue. Okay, now if we comment out this temporary test code and go here, rebuild, and we should, yep, we see our bars. Hey, we're back. And if we go to our database and actually look at our venue, we see that there is a hub ID. So this is referencing that hub right there, so we're good. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's deal with actually making a form to create a venue. All right, so on this page, what we could do, let's just clean this up a bit. I'm going to keep that login button there. It's just, you know, temporary or whatever, but let's actually have a floating action button on here that allows us to create a new one. So it's going to have an onPressed event, which we'll figure out. And we need an icon or a child, which will be an icon, icons.add. So that should add a nice little guy right here, which will do something for us. So we need a screen to bring everyone to. Let's have a venue. I'm going to call this venue edit screen. It'll be used for both making a new one or editing an existing one. So let's just do that. And let's just look at our detail screen. Okay, cool. I'm just going to copy this and change some stuff. Venue edit screen. And what we will do is require an ID to be passed into here so that it can be used for editing. However, we'll allow also 0 to be passed in. And then when it's 0, we'll just kind of assume it's a new one, I think is kind of the plan here. Okay, so let us figure this out. So we don't need that. Venue edit screen, we need to put this in our router. So we'll put it in our venue route specifically. I'm going to copy this one. And we'll just do venue edit screen dot route and make sure we use this. And it's kind of the same idea as the retrieve. It'll be either you know, a number or, well, it will be a number. It might be 0, which will mean create a new one. Okay, so now in our root screen, I guess, where we did this onPressed, we essentially will want to go context dot push, and we will use our venue detail or venue edit screen dot route, and we're going to pass 0 in as the value because we're creating a new one, and that's by intention here. Just 0. There'll never be 0 in the database. It always starts at 1, so 0 means, you know, create a new one. So let's just see our venue edit screen, and this will probably result in this venue not found thing, I imagine. There we go, venue not found, because we haven't really updated this. So we kind of want to do two different things here. In the case that we have 0, we kind of just want like an empty venue to work with. In the case that it is a number, we need to go search and find something. So I'm thinking for this, I guess we could just do some kind of logic. let's try something. This is a new approach that I haven't done before, but I'm trying to make things better. So let's have a venue edit provider. I wonder if we could just use our venue. We might be able to use a detail provider for this. Maybe we'll start with that. So let's just do something in here. We can do something like if ID equals 0, we're going to essentially return an empty venue. So let's just have this and kind of set everything to like a default. And then this will be something we'll move probably to a reusable sort of class. For hub ID right now, we're just going to temporarily put 1 because that's something we don't really have logic for right now. Owner ID, I guess we can get ref.read our, is it auth provider? Auth provider dot, auth provider, is this the right? Yeah, we could kind of do something like this. If ID equals 1, let's get the user. Or let's just do auth state equals ref.read auth provider. And if we go if auth state does not equal, or if auth state is auth state success, so we'll make sure they're logged in. Then in this case, we can return this by actually using the auth state .user .id. And if not, so we should probably also check if auth state .user .id equals null, or does not equal null. So I'm doing this in kind of what I would say a hacky way right now, but really I just want to get to the point where we can actually start working with the form here. This will, part of the process of developing something like this is kind of getting to the point where you need to do something and be able to do it, and then you come back and we can refactor things. So now here we would just use ID. We know it's not null, so we're safe there. Name, we're just going to do an empty string. Let's also put a to-do here. Get hub ID from, there'll probably be a provider that will have that. Image URL will just be blank, blank. Basically, all these can be blank strings. So let's do something. No, that's fine. I'm just going to paste, paste, paste. Verified false. Latitude and longitude, we're just going to set to 0 and 0. We're not going to get into the mapping part today. Maybe soon, but not today. Okay, so basically how this will work, the venue detail provider now, if the ID is 0, it's going to check if the user's logged in, and assuming they are, we're going to create sort of like an empty one. And again, we're going to refactor this, move it to a cleaner place to do it, and in fact, we might have a different provider for this at some point too. That being said, now when we watch this, we shouldn't get venue not found, or we should just get an empty venue now. And we can test that actually by going test 1, 2, 3. Let's actually just see if I am correct. So here we add a new one. We got test 1, 2, 3. So because we're passing 0 in, it's going and it's returning this. So that's cool. Now here, if venue equals null, yeah, the only time that will be null is if it gets past this and still doesn't find one, so that's fine. This stuff's all fine. Yeah, the error message, the circular progress indicator, we want it to load, from the database just to get the most up-to-date one. However, the difference here now is we're going to have a new component called venue form component.dart. And this will be just a, let's start with this. No, we're probably going to need, let's do a stateless consumer. Stateless consumer. So we'll call this venue form component. Import in the things we need. Good morning, Chuck. In the live chat, I noticed a message. Shout out to Chuck, one of my YouTube members. who's watching the live version of this right now. And just a reminder, I do have a membership program now. It's pretty cool. We have a Discord. We're working together on some stuff, helping, mentoring, and they have access to the source code of this. So if you are interested, check it out on my YouTube page. Okay, so we'll have a form here. It's going to have a key, which, oh, I realize actually, yeah, let's convert. You know what? We're going to start over this. We're going to just do a stateful widget just to start. We're going to call this venue form component. And we're just going to have a form here. It's going to have a key. Now, what I would kind of want to do is what we did on the login form. You'll see this was just a, oh, it was a consumer stateful widget. Okay, let's start over one more time. So stateful consumer. Venue form component. It's all part of the process. And what we're going to do, I'm going to grab this, is we're still going to have a form key, and we're going to take our dispose. And this is one of the reasons for wanting to use, actually we don't need that yet, but we'll keep it there. We don't have to dispose a form key. But we're going to have a form, and it's going to have a key, and it's going to be the form key. Now, for this, we're going to require a venue to be passed in, because we already have it. Venue. And we can go this dot venue and actually make it required. Back on our, I'm just going to close some things on our edit screen. Instead of returning to center, we are going to return the venue form. I spelled it wrong. This one. Venue form component, which we will import, and we will pass the venue in that we get back from the venue. There we go. So we have a form, and child is required, of course. So child, we're going to have a column. Children, main exercise, minimum. And let's just make sure stuff is working by having we'll just have a text field here for now that maybe has the venue.name. Now venue, we don't have access to. We actually have to do widget.venue in order to get it there. We could do a little hack, not even a hack, but just have a getter here. We can just have venue, and we can call it, can be get venue. And this would just return widget.venue. Then we can actually just refer to it here. That's one way to do it. Now, if we want to be dealing with the state sort of updating, we might change this approach, but this is fine for now. So let's just do this. And save everything. And if we go back here to here, we have the venue. Now, it doesn't say anything, and that's just because our default one, we got rid of that test. But we can put it back in and sort of retry this process. Test 1, 2, 3. So everything is working. I wonder why it's centered though. Did I not save something? Let's just double check that this is actually going to the right thing. Just gonna put some ones there. And also figure out what's going on with the state. So I want to go edit. Okay, no, something is still not working. Did I venue edit screen? Oh, you know what? I think we're pushing. I think the venue edit screen has actually the same route. That would make sense. So we want to make the venue edit screen actually be /edit/ the number. Refresh that. Good thing we test. Good thing we try things. Okay. So now we actually see 111 test 1 2 3. So we were actually just the whole time we were actually just pushing to the detail screen as opposed to the form. All right. Sometimes you just got to close everything because it gets a little unruly. Let's go back and let's get our venue edit. We don't care about the screen anymore. We know that part's working. We want to find our venue form component, which is right here. And this is where we're going to start having our form for our venue. We already have a form, but we need a form input. But let's just take a look at our venue model again. Where's the best place to see this? We could just look in here, our venue.spy. That's one place. Another place we could look at it is actually in our venue detail provider, because we already kind of have this right here. This is a little bit easier to see. So let's just think of the things that we need. We definitely need a text form field for the, which is going to have some decoration, input decoration. We can have a label, which will be, we can call it venue name, for instance. Images we'll skip for now. We're going to have a whole, probably one video on dealing with our image stuff. We also maybe are going to have a description, but let's figure this out. We also need a controller here to manage this, which means we actually need a final, and we can call this name controller. And this will be a text editing controller. Boom. Now what's cool is we can actually pass in whatever's the widget. Wait, we have to do. I think I have to do widget dot venue dot name. Although I think there's a, yeah, it's text like this. Oh, but it's not actually letting us do this initializer. So we need to. Okay, that's fine. We can do this a little bit differently. Where let's just have an init state, and in fact, let's actually, because I feel like we might need to do this. We're just going to have a venue, and we're going to make it late. It's not going to be final. We might be able to make it final because I haven't really thought this fully through yet. But what we're going to do is on the init state, we're going to make venue equal to our widget.venue, the one that got passed in. There we are. Now, what else we can do is we can, in the init state, I believe, we can go name controller.text equals, and here we'll use venue.name. Okay, perfect. So we'll basically like get that venue from here, set it to this, and use that throughout here. So now our controller will be our name controller, and that's all good. Okay, what else? What I'm gonna do? There's some weird thing. Some things I'm gonna fix off camera, and then walk you through how I do it. But there's some weird stuff happening with the state where when I'm saving it's coming back here. I'm gonna just temporarily in our app router. I think I can set the initial route to the venue routes.namespace. So at least we're not being brought back there. And let's just see if I go here and actually save something. It's really strange. There's something weird with our routing. But yeah, I'll fix that. I'll fix that another time. We can work with this at least. Okay, so look, we got our test 1, 2, 3, which makes sense. I was like, oh no, why is that happening? But it's because we are passing it in. So everything's actually working as expected, but we obviously want just a blank name. Go back. So go new, and we have our lovely form. Now, on the screen itself, this is the venue edit screen. We probably want to put a little bit of padding around the form. So let's just do that. I won't save that yet, but it'll get saved at some point, and we'll love it. Okay, so we have that, and then, oh yeah, validators. So we need, and we've seen this already, we should already have our form validate, or was it form utils? Validation utils. And we can use form validator not empty in this case. And because we need to be passing something in, we have to do it this way. And just as a reminder, this is something we looked at, I think we were doing the login stuff. We have these lovely helpers for doing validation in this validation utils that just make it a lot easier for our most basic use cases. We might have to make some custom ones for certain things, but this is fine. Okay, so we have name. What else do we definitely need? Yeah, I guess we could do the bio one next. So let's just copy this bio controller, and let's do bio controller equals venue.bio. And with that, we'll take another text form field. And I'm just going to call this like description bio controller. Description. I guess bio is fine. It's like what would be in their Instagram bio or whatever. Save all that, and we click add. There's our bio. Now with this, I do want to make it have a minimum lines of 3 and maybe like a max of 6. And this is just so that when you are editing it, you kind of get this more space. And min means it's going to start with 3. It'll grow until 6, and then it will become like a scrollable list, basically. Okay, what do we definitely need? Yeah, website, address, latitude, longitude, we're going to come back to. Okay, cool. yeah, let's put in the address. Yeah, okay, let's just do all of these really quickly. So we'll have address short, address long, website, Instagram. Instagram. And then we basically want to kind of do the same thing here. So we'll take this, address long, website controller, Instagram, and just the same idea. Super fun. And these are going to be pretty similar, closer to the venue one. So we'll just grab this and paste it. How many do we have here? One, looks like 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one we'll start with, let's actually just open up the form component here so we can kind of see it. So we have bio, we have this. Let's just do these one at a time. So we'll have address short controller, address long controller, website controller, and you guessed it, Instagram controller. And these are fine. So we need to change these obviously to be address. I wonder, you know what? Let's get rid of address long. Let's just have address controller. Let's just have the long one. And we'll maybe crop things server side or something for that kind of stuff. So address short, I'm going to get rid of. Because no one's going to know what to do with that. So we'll keep the address long. Say address. And this might also, likely we're going to replace this anyways with with like a Google search thing so that we can actually get that stuff nicely. And in that case, you know what, we're not going to worry about address right now because I think that's the plan. We're going to let them use that. That will come when we get to the mapping stuff. So we'll get rid of all the stuff to do with address, but we can at least have website and Instagram URL. I think we can also make these not required. You know, they can be optional, so we won't put any validators for those. And Instagram, we're good. Okay, so we have these sort of things here. We can also put on our venue edit screen. This is the edit screen. We have an app bar. So we could do something like give a title here or text, and we can, without actually like making use of this data here, we already know if ID is equal to 0, we can say create, or we can just say new venue. Otherwise, we can go edit venue, and that'll just make this look a little bit better. So we see new venue, and actually create. Change my mind. All right, so that kind of gets that out of the way. Now we do need some kind of save button. So let's just do the save button for the bottom of the screen. So we'll have a, let's just put a divider. Again, I'm not worrying about UI right now. I'm just keeping it really like basic and boring because we're going to do a nice UI design at some point. Functionality first. So here we'll use just an elevated button. On pressed, we can do whatever. Child. Text, save. And that's really annoying me. I don't know why that's happening. It's probably something stupid. Actually, we don't need the divider. Let's just add like a nice, like a size box, the height of 32, just to sort of space stuff out. And then this is where we'll actually do the save based on this kind of stuff. All right, so we already have stuff for this. What we really need to do is take whatever our venue is and modify it with this sort of stuff. But the very first thing we need to actually do is we need to go if formKey.currentState.validate, or rather, if not, we need to return out. So venue name, if I click save, we should have some issues, some errors here. That's cool. Yeah, I think we'll create, I think bio Maybe bio doesn't need to be required either. Now we'll have this sort of stuff. Okay, so what we would do next is kind of what we did in a sense in that temporary data, but we're going to make something called, we'll just take the v and we'll just do venue.copyWidth. And for now, we can take the name of that and use our name controller.text, and we're just going to trim it. Bio, we can do the same, bio controller.text. We can also trim that safely, I'd say. What else do we have in here? Website URL, website controller.text.trim, and Instagram URL. We use our Instagram controller.text, again, .trim. Yeah, I think we can trim all these. That just gets rid of the white space at the end. Now we have a sort of updated version of our venue. And here we can do our ref.read. We have a venue service provider, I believe is what we want to use. We want to use its notifier. Nope. Venue service provider dot save. And save allows us to pass in a venue. In this case, we're going to use v, not the venue itself. And we do want to await this, meaning let's make this asynchronous. And we can say something like updated venue equals this, because this is actually going to, we need to actually do our little result.fold. So we might have an error. And here, we don't really have a toast thing, do we? Oh, I think we actually did add it. Yeah, toastutils.message. And we'll just message the error itself, which is a string. Otherwise, we should now have an updated venue. We'll call it that. And in the case we have an updated venue, there's a few things we want to do here. I just want to make some decisions here. We don't actually ever modify this, although there might be a case when we're adding images to do it. So yeah, we can actually just do a set state to update that with the venue with the updated venue. That's fine. We can also have a toast message where we actually pass in venue saved. And then I think we want to get them off this screen. So we can do a context.pop, which should bring them back to the page before. And we also need to essentially invalidate our list view, because once they create a new one, or even if they're editing one, we want it to kind of refresh. So let's just remember how that worked. We had a list provider, venue list provider. Yeah, we essentially want to call this refresh on it. So we can also go ref.read venue list provider .notifier.refresh. So we get the updated one. Is this a keep alive? Yes. So that is totally fine. Okay, let's see if this works. I'm just going to do a nice little refresh. Go here, and now we have a new venue. I mean, it might work, it might not. Let's get our debug console open. Let's also make sure our server's running. Yes, of course it is. Super new venue. This is my bio. We don't have any proper validation on this. We might do that in a minute, but let's just have something like myvenue.com, and we probably want to make that a URL field, and instagram.com/venue. So let's just try saving that. We do get venue saved, and you'll see super new venues here, and there we are. Awesome. Refresh, everything's good. I'm sure we're good, but let's also just check the database. Go public, venue, and we have super new venue in here and all the stuff we put in, which is just those couple things. Oh, there they are. Yep, we have our Instagram. Okay, we're good. Let's just see a couple things here. Do I have validator for URL? So website or URL? I have it is valid URL. I guess we could make one for this. So we're going to just make our own new validator here, which is going to be static string form validator URL. And this is going to be, actually, we'll make the URL one first, and then I want to kind of make a variant of it, and you'll see why. I do want to label. I think we can just, yeah, let's just do it this way. So for this, yeah, maybe we will do this same thing. Form validator URL. So we can kind of do the same sort of thing. If it's equal, if it is null or it's empty, we say it's required. The next thing we want to check is if, and we have something in here for this, is valid URL. And I think we can just do that. And here we would pass in value. And we want to say if not, we can then write invalid, invalid URL, just like that. Otherwise, we return null. So what we can do over here now on, let's just do it for the website controller, just to test some stuff. Validator. So we'll do value, and we'll use validation utils dot form validator URL. And for this, we'll just say website. And make sure we save everything. So now if I go here and actually try and save, website required, if I put something else in, we should get invalid URL. So let's just try something that might be valid, .com. And then we're good there. However, I kind of want a variant of this because this isn't actually a required field. I just want to make sure if it is being used in some way that it is valid when we're using it. So we're going to make another one called static string form validator URL or empty. Actually, we can make this better. We can have also an optional parameter here called value required or something. And we'll make it true by default. So that's a bool. And then all we have to do here is go and wrap it in this. We only want to do this check if value is required. And then, okay, yeah, we have the null here. Actually, hang on. I guess null. Let's just try this again. I'm going to probably rework this, but if it's null, we're going to say like it's required. If the value is required and it's empty, we say it's required. And then I guess in this case, value required. I guess we go if value. Let's just maybe do this in a more obvious way first. So if the value is required, we're going to run this, check the empty, and then we're going to do the normal valid. Otherwise, we essentially want to check if value dot is not empty. That's the only time we actually want to do this check here. Cool. Now this is not the cleanest way to do it, but we can refactor that later. We can get rid of probably 3 lines. So let's just test to make sure that works, but we have to go to our firm validator thing and say value required false. So it should, yeah, it doesn't spring an error, but if I do type something, we get an error. But if I type something that is valid, we don't have an error. Okay, cool. For Instagram, we'll just keep it as is for now, because that's probably going to be something where it's going to be a handle and not actually the URL, and then the backend might save it to a URL, or we might go the opposite way where we save it actually as just the handle itself. Neither here nor there, we can come back to that. But we have, creating working in its most basic sense. Obviously, we will be having, a way to pick a location on a map of where it is, probably doing or at the very least doing like a Google Place search so that you find something that exists, because, likely the venue is going to exist at least on Google Maps if it's a bar or a restaurant. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking there. Okay, cool. What are we at? 44 minutes. I think that's good. I think we will wrap this video here, and we will continue with this process and everything else in the next video. So thanks for hanging out, thanks for watching, and catch you in the next one.